GTA Incident. On June 7, 2003, 18-year-old Devin Moore was taken into custody at a police station in Fayette, Alabama, on suspicion of stealing a car. What began as a routine questioning quickly turned into tragedy. While inside the station, Moore suddenly grabbed a police officer's gun and opened fire. In a matter of moments, he shot and killed 2 officers and a dispatcher before fleeing the scene in a stolen police cruiser. He was later captured and charged with capital murder. Investigators learned that Moore had been an avid player of Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City, and his defense team urged that the violent gameplay had influenced his actions. They claimed the games had desensitized him to killing and provided a framework for his real-life crime. The jury rejected this argument, and Moore was convicted and sentenced to death. The case sparked intense debate about violent video games and their potential real-world impact. The Fortnite shooting incident. On November 8, 2024, at 3:27 a.m., Fortnite became the backdrop to a deadly confrontation in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Investigators say 21-year-old Holden Hofsas shot and killed his friend Daniel Gray after the two had spent the evening drinking hard cider and playing several rounds of Fortnite. According to court documents, Hofsas kept a silver revolver nearby for protection. He later told police that he had loaded the weapon, but believed the first chamber was empty. After losing a round of Fortnite, Gray allegedly yelled at him and got in his face. Hofsas stood up, pulled the trigger, and shot Gray in the chest. Moments later, Hofsas called 911, claiming the shooting was an accident. Hofsas has been charged with murder and related offenses. The Free Fire Incident. On March 13, 2025, in Panchmahal district of Gujarat, India, a 13-year-old boy was lured by 3 teenage friends into a mango orchard near their village. The group had often played Free Fire together, but tensions grew over the boy's prized game account, which contained rare items and valuable skins. The others had repeatedly demanded access to the ID, but he refused. That evening, an argument escalated. The 3 teens attacked him with blunt weapons and blades, leaving fatal injuries. His body was discovered the next morning among the trees, showing signs of beating and deep wounds. Police quickly detained all 3 suspects. Because they were under 18, the case was filed under the Juvenile Justice Act. Investigators confirmed the motive, a violent dispute directly over the Free Fire ID. The killing was widely reported across India as a chilling reminder of how digital property conflicts can erupt into deadly violence. VR accident. In December 2017, a 44-year-old man in Moscow was at home using a virtual reality headset. The man was reportedly wandering around his apartment, immersed in a VR game, when he lost his balance and fell directly onto a glass coffee table. The impact shattered the surface, leaving him with severe cuts. Because he was alone, there was no one to provide immediate help. The bleeding grew more uncontrollable, and by the time he was discovered, the headset was still on his head. Authorities later confirmed that he had died from massive blood loss. This case became one of the first documented deaths directly linked to VR gaming, raising awareness about how immersive technology can cause players to forget their surroundings. It's underscored the importance of ensuring a safe play area when engaging in virtual reality experiences. Pokémon Go. On August 23, 2016, in Tokushima Prefecture, Japan, a 39-year-old truck driver was driving along a rural road while playing Pokémon Go on his smartphone. Distracted by the game, he failed to notice 2 women crossing at a railway intersection. His truck struck both pedestrians. One victim, a 72-year-old woman, was killed instantly. The second woman, aged 60, was rushed to the hospital with severe injuries, but later died. Witnesses reported that the driver never applied the brakes before the collision. Police arrested him at the scene, where he admitted he had been playing Pokémon Go while behind the wheel. Prosecutors later charged him with dangerous driving resulting in death. The case shocked the nation and made international headlines, particularly as Japan's government had already issued warnings about the dangers of mobile distractions when the game launched. Following the tragedy, Niantic, the game's developer, introduced stronger in-game alerts reminding players not to use the app while driving. The Tokushima crash remains one of the deadliest game-related accidents linked directly to mobile distraction. World of Warcraft. In March of 2015, a young Chinese man named Wu Tai, aged 24, walked into a gaming cafe in Shanghai and logged into World of Warcraft. According to staff, he had planned an extended session to grind levels with friends. Wu ended up playing for 19 continuous hours without proper rest or meals. At some point, he slumped forward in his chair, unresponsive. Other gamers thought he was just sleeping, but when they tried to wake him, they realized he was not breathing. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but declared him dead on the scene. Authorities later suggested the cause was cardiac arrest. worsened by exhaustion, dehydration, and prolonged sedentary behavior. News outlets across China highlighted the story as another tragic reminder of the country's struggles with gaming addiction. For years, China has attempted to impose restrictions on internet cafes and gaming hours for young people, but cases like Wu's show how dangerous marathons can be for adults too. Halo Incident. In August 2011, the UK media reported the sudden and tragic death of Chris Staniforth, a 20-year-old from Sheffield, England, who collapsed after spending long hours on his Xbox 360, often playing his favorite game series, Halo. Friends and family said Chris loved gaming and regularly played for marathon stretches, sometimes up to 12 hours at a time. On the day he died, he had reportedly been seated for many hours, deeply engaged in gameplay. An autopsy revealed that Chris had developed deep vein thrombosis, DVT, a blood clot caused by long immobility. The clot traveled to his lungs, resulting in a fatal pulmonary embolism. Doctors compared the risk to economy class syndrome, where airline passengers can suffer clots after sitting still on long flights. Chris's father later spoke publicly, warning others about the hidden risks of marathon gaming sessions. His death sparked national conversations about healthy gaming habits, with experts urging players to stand up, stretch, and stay hydrated during extended play. The tragedy became one of the most cited examples of a real-life gaming-related death. League of Legends Incident. On February 3, 2012, in Taiwan, a 23-year-old man named Rong Yu visited an internet cafe to play League of Legends. He reportedly began a marathon gaming session that lasted over 9 hours without taking significant breaks for food, water, or rest. Staff noticed he had been sitting at the same computer for an extended period, but assumed he was fully focused on his game. On the 9th hour of gameplay, Rong Yu collapsed at his desk. Emergency medical personnel were called immediately, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Doctors later determined that the cause of death was cardiac arrest induced by extreme exhaustion and dehydration. The tragic incident sparked widespread concern about the dangers of prolonged gaming sessions and the risks of internet cafe culture in Asia. Health authorities subsequently urged gamers to take regular breaks, stay hydrated, and avoid marathon gaming sessions to prevent such fatalities. PUBG. In May 2019, 16-year-old Furqan Qureshi from Neemuch, Madhya Pradesh, India, tragically collapsed and died of cardiac arrest after an intense gaming session of Players Unknown Battleground, PUBG, on his mobile phone. According to reports, Furqan had joined a wedding celebration at his relative's home, and after lunch, he sat down to play the popular Battle Royale game. What was supposed to be casual entertainment stretched into nearly 6 continuous hours of gameplay. Witnesses said he became increasingly immersed and emotionally charged, even shouting phrases like, "Blast it, blast it!" when frustrated during matches. Not long after, Furqan suddenly complained of a severe headache and then collapsed to the ground. His family rushed him to a hospital, but doctors pronounced him dead on arrival. Medical experts later suggest that he had a combination of adrenaline, emotional stress, and prolonged gaming may have triggered a fatal cardiac episode, despite Furqan having no known prior health problems.